Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 1293, I think. I'm pretty sure that's right, it is. Yeah. It's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Café Anyway, located somewhere in podcast. Oh, 1292 is what it is. 1292. Today is the best day I've ever known. That was a little Smashing
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Billy Corrigan, Smashing Pumpkins. Today it's Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the Engineer, and a segment
Mike's Daily Podcast
called Live and Loco, cause I'm feeling a bit loco. Today I walked into work and there was so much to la 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 la. When I get mad at someone, I say so and so can suck a toad. Does that make any sense?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
So, like, you know, you go like, oh, I hate Jeff Sessions. He can suck a toad.
Mike's
Doesn't that feel good to say that?
Daily
Aw, snap.
Podcast.
The Snap IPO.
Yeah!
Yes, that became public yesterday. And how much was it? Now, I saw it. I'm like, ooh, I think I'm going to buy some. It's at 23. I'll buy some. You know what it closed at? 24 bucks and 51 cents. So it didn't really go anywhere yesterday. It just stayed flat. Now that could just suddenly change all of a sudden. I don't know anything about stocks. I just produce a show for a guy that talks about stocks nonstop. But you know what? He does this interesting thing. He uses these phrases like, it's a little upsetting, or it's sort of worrisome, or it's a little bit. He uses those hedging phrases, hedgings. He hedges like crazy when he's really saying, oh, it's a problem. That's a frickin' big effing problem. But he hedges it. He totally hedges everything he says. Like that the Titanic's sinking. That was a little bit of a boat sinking, is what he would probably say. It's so like non-committal. When you talk like that, you've got to just say your statements. You've got to say what's on your mind. What happened? What's happening down in your gut? Do you want the world to suck a toad or what? Snap! Oh, look, I just walked in.
Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, Good Job Supervisor.
Hi, Chely.
Mike Matthews.
What?
I went on a date with Bob.
How's Bob doing?
Bob's the greatest guy on the planet, Mike Matthews.
That's great. What are you guys gonna do tonight?
Mike Matthews, I'm gonna go out on a date with Bob.
That's awesome. I'm so glad someone is going out on dates and stuff. Wah, wah, I'm not, because I live with my dog. And all I do is walk my dog and worry about my dog. Basil the boxer. Oh, look who else just walked in. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere the Engineer. I hear that your coworker Jarrell is a big fan of mine. Yeah, he thinks you're the shiznit. Go! He thinks you're the say what? Well, that's really nice of him. I am just a guy. I'm just a man. A scary man at that. Thank you, Mike Matthews. So last show I was talking all about rules, and interestingly enough, rules caught up with Mr. Jeff Sessions, our Attorney General. Apparently, he did talk to those Russian people, the Russian ambassador, Sergei Blakhvakhnok. And so now, since he lied when he was talking to Al Franken and saying to Al, when he was going through his hearings, he said, no, I don't think I'd ever do. No, it wasn't me. Now he's in trouble because he lied. I wonder if he's the guy that when Obama was it his first address to the Congress? Is he the one that yelled out, "You lie"? Liar! Somebody yelled out at Obama, liar! And I wonder if that was him. Wouldn't that be the best iron?
That's not even funny.
That would be the wonderful twist, a turn of fate is what that would be. That's the sound of Jeff Sessions. So basically he said, hey, I'm Attorney General, and because I'm Attorney General, well, he didn't say anything for the longest time, and everybody's like, he's that part of government that does investigations. And this is a big problem that he spoke with the Russians while he was with Mr. Trump in his campaign, when Trump was walking around saying stuff like,
I'm really rich.
And so now here he is, and he's got power as Attorney General, and he has to investigate the Russians hacking our election. But here he is, he spoke with Russians during the Trump thing. Oh, but he didn't say much, Mike. He just said, hey, how's it in Russia? Is it cold? Do you got that big old Siberian winter going on? This show is sound effect heavy today. You're welcome.
Mike Matthews, this is crazy.
I know it's crazy.
And here's today's podcast picture.
Are you crazy?
I'm so crazy. And one more crazy strap.
I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy like that. You know what I mean?
The podcast picture today is a beautiful sunset at Lake Chabot in Podcaster Valley. I was walking Basil the Boxer, and we were walking along. He's doing okay. I can see the cold is catching up with them a little bit. He's not quite as boxers, when they're younger, they're crazy. They do all kinds of, they'll run, they'll jump, they'll fly, they'll do all kinds of stuff. They'll hoppity hop. But then as they get older, they're kind of like, well, I don't want to do that. My legs hurt when I do that, so I'm going to stop. So we were walking around Lake Chabot, which was an interesting walk that day. That was on Tuesday. And the sun was going down, as you can see in this picture. And there are parts of that trail that get really dark. And I'm walking along, and I noticed that Podcaster Valley, since we've had so much rain, parts of that trail were just, the landslide brought it down. There's like landslides everywhere, so you're kind of stepping in mud, and you're like, wow, I hope that rock doesn't come crashing down. So that's, and the other thing I wanted to talk about is how I have unfollowed the person that I have talked about many times, who posts endless pictures of herself on Instagram. Endless pictures. She seems to think that she is the most beautiful woman on the planet. And you know what? That's great to have a good self-esteem like that, but still, and I don't understand the people on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, whatever the hell that is, where they put the camera right in their face and put the camera as close to their face as possible. Don't do that. We don't want to be that close to your face. I don't care if you're the most beautiful woman or man. No. But of course, it's never the most beautiful woman or man. It's always someone who's got like crap in their teeth and just not. You don't want to be that close to their. Anyway, Café Anyway. What ended up happening was, right now Mike is looking for the anyway sound effect.
Anyway.
There, he found it.
Anyway.
Good job, Mike.
Anyway.
Thank you. But so I've had enough of her postings about herself, and then on Ash Wednesday she posted a picture of herself with ash on her forehead and said something like, oh, I love Lent. Lent is great because it's all about rebirth and making yourself clean again.
That's not how it works.
You're right.
That's not how any of this works.
And I said when I saw that,
It's time to stop, okay?
it is time to stop with looking at her pictures, so I unfollowed her.
No more.
That's right.
No more.
And so we're done. So thanks for listening to the show. You can find out more about the show at the website mikesdailypodcast.com. You can call me at 336-MM-DAILY. You can email me as well. And all the links to all the places you can contact me and email me. And we do a section called your emails, mail.
Oh my God!
Email for email and your calm and not so calm mess.
Yeah, so go ahead, lay it on me, your calm or not so calm meant at mikesdailypodcast.com. There's links there for that, and you can also help out the show through the Amazon link. And you can, buy whatever it is you're going to buy on Amazon, and that helps us out. There's also the link to the PayPal, and that's so awesome, isn't it? Oh my God, Greta, what's her name from C-SPAN, just kills me. She's so delicate and beautiful. Now, she posted pictures of herself like 5 inches away from the camera. I don't care. That can happen. She's lovely. She's around my age, too. But she's happily married. And that's good. We need more happiness, and I don't know if we need more marriage in this world, but we need more happiness. But don't feel pressure to be happy, my friend. That's what I learned from that podcast I was telling you yesterday. That's what we put too much pressure on ourselves to be happy. And you gotta enjoy. As Dennis Leary said, aka Kellyanne Conway, you have got to enjoy the little things. It's the little things in life that should make you happy. When you wake up in the morning, and let's say it's Saturday and you don't have to be up at 4, and you wake up and it's all nice and warm in your bed, and your dog is laying in his bed next to you in his bed, and he's snoring away. That's just happiness right there. Happiness. Oh, thank you, Edie Raquel. That's what it was. Philosophy is a smile on a dog. I think happiness is a smile on a dog. And that's all I wanted to say on today's show. And then bring you this segment called Live and Loco. So help out the show through the PayPal and the Amazon link, all there at mikesdailypodcast.com. I appreciate it. And we also have the past interviews and past podcast pictures. Here we go with the segment.
Live and Loco.
Mike, it's Mikey Fikey. Great.
First off, this makes me happy. George Bush and Michelle Obama have a friendship. And there's this awesome picture they posted. I think it's on the Washington Post or something, CNN. All of them are posting this picture where Michelle is kind of hugging George W. Bush. First off, she towers over him. She is so beautiful. Oh, and he's so tiny. But and he's got this great smile, and it's just an awesome picture. Also, Marco Rubio got removed from his office. Marco Rubio, who could potentially at some point become our president. I don't know. I see it happening, but maybe you don't. He, of course, from the Florida Speaker of the Florida House of Representatives. Well, he was the Florida House of Representatives Speaker, but he is now the Senator from Florida. He had to be removed from his office due to protesters. And that's the thing. That's the way people are. There's the whole, Obama replace Obamacare, and people finally are saying something about it. We heard nothing during the election when everything was hitting the fan, and people were like, "Oh, Obamacare is this monstrosity, and Hillary's going to keep the Obamacare going, and she's a monstrosity. Don't vote for her." And that was said over and over again, and nobody defended Obamacare. Nobody. And I did on my show, and I said, hey, do you remember, insurance prices are high now, but do you remember how high they were and how they were just skyrocketing before Obamacare? Nobody remembered that. Selective memory. And so now people are finally in waves saying no and showing up at these town hall meetings of these Republicans and saying, what the hell are you going to do? You can't repeal my Obamacare. You can't take it away. And people are saying on C-SPAN, I heard it this morning, an old woman, because that's all who watch and listen to and call into C-SPAN, and the lovely Greta in the morning, saying, My husband's life was saved by Obamacare. And that's now the people are finally saying stuff. When they're just about to take it away, that's when they say it. That's how we are in America. But you know what? Before I say someone can suck a toad, I don't know, why I threw the CH in there. That's weird. I think I wanted to say a cherry toad, which would be a candy. Maybe like a gummy bear. They have cherry toads? No? I'll back away from that. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has recused himself from an investigation into any ties between Moscow and Trump's 2016 campaign, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, after revelations that he talked with Russia's ambassador to the United States twice during the campaign. Asking about the Siberian winter? No. Other things. Sessions had faced mounting pressure from both parties on Capitol Hill that he step aside or resign. Now, there are several contacts between Trump and Russia. The Associated Press posted this. First off, Jeff Sessions. And then Michael Flynn, who resigned just a month ago after reports he misled White House officials about his contacts with Russia's ambassador to the U.S., a situation Trump was told about soon after he took office. Flynn eventually lost the president's trust after he said at first that he didn't discuss sanctions with the Russian envoy during the transition, but later admitted he may have done so. Separately, in 2015, Flynn gave a paid speech in Moscow and sat next to Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, at a dinner. Also, a connection to Trump Organization. Michael Flynn received a Ukrainian peace plan involving the Russian Crimea dispute right before he resigned. That plan was cobbled together by pro-Russian Ukrainian lawmaker Andriy Artemenko and two men with ties to Trump's namesake company. Longtime Trump lawyer Michael Cohen and former Trump Organization business advisor Felix Sater, who confirmed the arrangement to the Associated Press. Sater, a Russian-born former mafia informant, was named by Trump as an advisor to the Trump Organization as recently as 2010, even though Sater had been convicted in a major stock fraud scheme. Then there's Paul Manafort, Trump's former campaign chairman. Remember him? Wasn't he the guy with the big mustache? He had a really deep voice. He resigned in August after the AP disclosed his firm's covert lobbying efforts on behalf of the former pro-Russian ruling political party in the Ukraine. Those efforts, which occurred before Manafort joined the Trump campaign, included attempts to get positive press coverage of Ukrainian officials and efforts to undercut sympathy for Yulia Tymoshenko, an imprisoned rival of then Ukrainian President Viktor Yanukovych. More recently, the New York Times reported Manafort and other members of Trump's campaign had repeated contacts with the Russian intelligence officials. Manafort said he had, quote, never knowingly spoken to Russian intelligence officials. Then there's Trump, who said during the election he did not have any deals in Russia, but he did hold the 2013 Miss Universe pageant in Moscow. He has been very contradictory when describing his personal relationship with Vladimir Putin, insisting during the campaign he had no relationship. The Russian leader had no recollection of ever meeting him. Several times in prior years, he has said the opposite. Trump has had conversations with Putin since the election, speaking to Putin shortly after he won the presidency and again 8 days after he took office. And I'm not completely familiar with all the cast of characters, but I do know that Ivanka Trump's husband, who is, I think, in the Trump cabinet, also had dealings with Russia. So, and of course there's Julian Assange.
WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks.
And Trump. And Julian leaking all those emails and all that stuff about Hillary that helped sway the election. And he got that stuff from Russia, even though Trump said, no, that did not happen. And he said to me these words, or this word.
Wrong.
Thank you. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley, I was going to get into the recusal thing, But he did say, I should have slowed down, Jeff Sessions, and said, but I did meet one Russian official a couple of times, discussing that testimony with Al Franken during the hearings. And he said, I feel I should not be involved in an investigating a campaign I had a role in. So that's good. He did that. People are like, why did he wait so long? But the recusal, despite White House support for him, followed a chorus of demands that Sessions resolve the seeming contradiction between his two conversations with Moscow's U.S. envoy, Sergei Kislyak, and his statement to Congress in January that he had not communicated with Russians during the campaign. Well, should be an interesting weekend for the talking heads and the political shows in the morning, which I do not watch. But I do love listening to all the podcasts that talk about this stuff, particularly to the point. And Miller, Terry Miller on the NPR out of Minnesota. That's pretty cool. And even the Economist Radio podcast is awesome to listen to. I'll catch all that. And you enjoy your podcast and your weekend. Next show, it'll be Benita, the Disgruntled Fiddle Player, and the Brewmaster.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!